Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a video on the Lowsey channel, and today we are back with the Lowsey transfer special. Sorry I had a bit of time off, haven't been feeling the best, but you know, I'm back with videos now. We've got some great videos coming because of course, you know, the Euros is coming up, so England might not win it, who cares, but I mean, I'm going to have some great videos coming up on the Euros about England, about like just predictions, every prediction for every single game, and go from there. So guys, we're going straight into the video today. So yeah, transfer rumours around the world at the moment, mostly Premier League I'm talking about, and a few from Germany, and a few little things here and there. But yeah guys, I'm so excited. Before getting the video, if you could please like, subscribe and comment, that would be absolutely amazing. I want to thank you for the support I've had on the channel since I've started it. It's been bloody amazing. But yeah, let's get on to transfers guys. So we're going to start off with my team, Newcastle, and we're going for the double here. So Newcastle have now, according to Fabrizio Romano this morning, signed Lloyd Kelly on a 5-year deal with an option to extend it for an extra year. For me, good signing, you know. I think he's an exceptional player. I think if you're going off fair market value, I think he's probably worth 20-25 million. I think Bournemouth would price him a bit higher if he was, I'll say he had 2 years, 3 years left on his deal. But yeah, Eddie Howe gets his man. Free agent, going to help her with the FFP, PSR, whatever bullshit it is. Sorry for the language. But yeah, Eddie Howe's coached him before. Lloyd Kelly has been managed by Eddie Howe before. I'm excited to watch this man play. You know, I didn't know much about him. I watched these two fellas' video from the Bournemouth channel, a great channel. If I can find the video, I'll put the link in the description for it. Go and have a watch, Newcastle fans, because it was really good insight, and they really love Lloyd Kelly, and they say he's got everything. They even went as far to say that in a year's time, they believe Lloyd Kelly will be in the England squad if he plays for Newcastle like week in week out. Which is a bold shout when you look at some of the defenders England have upcoming, like Mark Gahey, Jared Bramthwaite, Jarrell Quansah. You know, it's a bold statement to make. So, you know, he must have something. And I did, to be honest with you, and I'm guilty for this, to be honest, I've got to admit, guys. I watched the Lloyd Kelly Welcome to Newcastle United video yesterday, and it was showing you all his best slide tackles, his stand tackles, his defensive awareness, his pace, and he looks rapid. I didn't actually know he was that fast. I know he's a big centre back, left footed, can play left back. I really like that versatility of a player. But I really like what I've seen. I think defensively, it was weird. He looked a bit laid back, but in a good way laid back as a defender, because I don't think he should be laid back as a defender. I think that he should be always switched on straight away like that. But he looked quite laid back, but on it, which I really liked. He looks comfortable with the ball as well. I think, you know, the Bournemouth fans are absolutely gutted to lose him from what I've seen from that video. They really liked him there, so I'm really happy to get the sign across the line. I do like Bournemouth, but of course, if we can take a top player off your hands, I'm gonna be rooting for that, Bournemouth fans. But yeah, I mean, by the time this video's out, I mean, I've started tweeting hours at it. I'm waiting for the announcement. No, it's not. It's West Ham just signed a youngster. Actually, I haven't got that on here, but yeah, I mean, it's basically done. Contract signed. Medical was done last night. We're just waiting for the confirmation. Personally, I don't think they'll confirm it till Friday when the transfer window opens tomorrow. So it might have happened by the time the video's out. It might not have. But I mean, I'm excited to see this lad play some football. I've had some great insight on him. He's a free agent. What could go wrong? You know what I mean? You know, we've had some injury struggles at centre back. We've got no Botman, no Lascelles, because they sadly got ACL injuries. You know, we've got Dan Burn, who's a left back, centre back, and Lewis Hall. Now you've got Lloyd Kelly, who personally, he's played in the Premier League. He's played under Eddie Howe for the first game of the season. I'm putting Lloyd Kelly in centre back. I've got to be honest with you guys. I'll be putting Lloyd Kelly in centre back. Do love Dan Burn, but for me, first game of the season, Tino Livramento, Fabian Shaw, Lloyd Kelly, Lewis Hall. That's just out. We might sign more players, but that's what we've got so far. That's what I'm going for, because I think Kieran, if England get to the final, which I expect we should, then the players do get an extended break where I'm sure they missed the first game of the season, so Kieran Trippier would be missing. So I'm fingers crossed we can win the Euros, but we're going to get on that at the end of the video. But yeah, let's move on to Newcastle again. And this is the only two for Newcastle, guys, so don't worry, it's not a biased video. I just put it in because it was there together. It's James Trafford, goalkeeper from Burnley, signed him for 15 million last summer from Manchester City, with Manchester City holding a 20% sell-on. So Newcastle have agreed personal terms with James Trafford, and Newcastle had a £15 million bid rejected. To be honest with you, I'm not surprised Burnley have rejected a £15 million bid. I mean, they paid 15 million from him. Man City have a 20% sell on, so it's a bit of a profit loss for Burnley. So I understand where Burnley are coming from. I think 20 million's a fair price for James Trafford, a 21-year-old goalkeeper. Great with his feet, future England goalkeeper. You know, he's done it for England under 21 Euros as well. I think it'd be a fantastic signing and a great goalkeeper to take over Nick Pope. So I'm fingers crossed on that one. As I say, personal terms are agreed. So let's hope James Trafford will be in a Newcastle shirt next season. I don't know if he'll play straight away. I know Nick Pope's had some trouble with his shoulder. So, I mean, if he hurts that again, then that could be James Trafford's time Friday. I'll go, come on, son, get in. Make that yours. Make that spot yours. Or he might just throw him in, but I suspect Nick Pope will start goalkeeper for Newcastle United next season, regardless on if we sign James Trafford. I think it'd be a different story if we sign Mamavashvili. I can't even pronounce his name. The Georgian goalkeeper from Valencia. And an Aaron Ramsdale. But to be honest with you, out of them three, I'm going to be honest here, Mamavashvili, whatever you call him, the Georgian guy, I'm not good at pronouncing names like that. It's a tongue twister for me. I do know me football. But he would be my first choice because I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. And then it would be James Trafford, then it would be Aaron Ramsdale for me. But I'd be happy with either or any goalkeeper out of them three, to be honest with you. Enough of Newcastle. Let's move on to the Championship. So next we're moving to the Championship winners, who are talking to Graham Potter to succeed recently appointed Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca. Top appointment for me if Leicester get there, man. You know, Graham Potter done a brilliant job at Brighton. I know Robert De Zerbi came into Brighton to replace Potter and went that step higher. Potter went to Chelsea. I think things were a bit unfair at Chelsea. I think Chelsea weren't in the greatest space at the time of the Graham Potter appointment. So, I mean, I like Potter. I think Potter's a good manager. I don't think he's better than your likes of your Eddie Howe's. I don't think he's better after Zerbi. I don't think he's better than some of the managers in there. But I think he would be a perfect fit for Leicester to take Leicester back to where Leicester were a few years ago. You know, I'm not saying what Brendan Rodgers did, winning the FA Cup, getting Europe every season. I mean, what he did with Brighton, stabilise them, get them safe again, and then make that rise up the table, and then hopefully, you know, he can do something with Leicester, because I have got family in Leicester, so I'm not going to lie, I do have a soft spot for Leicester. There would be, I don't have second teams within the Premier League, there would be my second sort of team in the Premier League if I had to pick one, so I'm hoping they do well. But I think if they do get a Graham Potter, I think he'll be in there to steady the ship, keep them safe, and then they might push for a better manager, but who knows. I mean, Graham Potter could shock everyone and do a brilliant job at Leicester City. They've got great training facilities, the best in England, and they've got some great players in there like Keenan Dewsbury Hall, Fataru, Mavididi, and even people like Wilfred Ndidi I'm a fan of as well. So, I mean, we'll see what happens there, and I do believe Graham Potter will get that appointment. Next, we're going to my team of the year, Bayern Leverkusen, who are set to sign Alex Garcia from Girona for £15.2 million. What a signing for Xavi Alonso. I bet he's buzzing with that bargain. That is a great signing. I mean, Alex Garcia had an incredible year last year for Girona, and Girona themselves had an incredible year. I just think Alex Garcia is an absolute fantastic player. I really do. I'd love to see him in the Premier League. I would even have loved to maybe Newcastle put a bid in for him. I know West Ham had a little bit of interest in him, but it looks like he's chose Bayern Leverkusen, which is fair play. They're one of the most exciting teams in Europe right now. You know, with Frimpong, Ronaldo, Boniface. I may as well just name every single player they've got. Hinshapi. I'm not going to name them all, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, great signing for Xavi. Because you'd imagine that Bayern Leverkusen are set to lose a couple of players after a fantastic year. They might not, but they might as well. And I think Alex Garcia has an absolute fantastic signing for him to come into German football. I've had some more tweets as like, can he confirm, boys and girls? No, it's not. Next, we're going to Chelsea and Villa. I've merged them together because there is some advanced negotiations with the two clubs discussing two players. So I thought, why not? Instead of having one segment, bring them together like that. Yeah, so Chelsea and Villa are talking about John Duran and Conor Gallagher to Villa. So both deals being worked on as it stands. The apparent fee Chelsea want for Conor Gallagher is close to 50 million. And Villa want close to 40 million for John Duran. I think Chelsea selling Conor Gallagher will be good for their FFP/PSR. Because obviously, as we've seen, there's a few clubs like Newcastle, Villa, Chelsea that need to spend so they don't get a point deduction and go over the amount you're allowed to spend. Also for Chelsea, selling Conor Gallagher means they can spend, I think he's a homegrown player, so that means they can spend 5 times what they're selling for. So if they sell Conor Gallagher for 50 million, work it out on one hand, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 million, because he's homegrown, which is, I quite like that rule, but 50 million for Conor Gallagher, he's had a really, really impressive season. If I'm Chelsea, I'd be thinking, hang on a second, do we keep him here, unless you can be like, right, we can spend this on this player, then I'm like, alright, fair enough. But I think Conor Gallagher, for me, was the shining light for Chelsea last season, to be honest with you. But we'll see what happens there. And John Duran for 40 million, I think Aston Villa are absolutely robbing Chelsea. I don't know what Villa fans thinking. I'm not a Villa fan, so, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of every single player. But for me, John Duran to Chelsea for 40 million, even 30 million for me, and 20 million. I'm thinking, what the hell? I looked at, he's played 35 games and scored 4 goals in the Premier League. I appreciate he doesn't start every week, but I think that's absolutely bizarre. Fair play to Villa if they do get 40 million from him, because they can replace him with someone a whole lot better for probably less than half the price. I just think 40 million for John Duran's insane. I was speaking to my mates about it yesterday. I texted a few people I know, and they said, John Duran's a good player. Someone I know from Birmingham as well, who's an Aston Villa fan, he said, no, John Duran is quite good. But I don't see it. I think 40 million's absurd. I mean, I'd love to know what you guys would say in the comment section below, because I think it's crazy, mate. Like, I honestly do. But I mean, I wouldn't be paying that much for him anyways. I think there's a better striker out there Chelsea could go for. I appreciate Chelsea's strategy is like they're bringing younger players now. Fair enough. But I think if you're paying 40 million for John Duran, why not pay another 60 and get Osman or something? But hey, who knows? This video, you might come back commenting here in 6 months, 7 months time, going, haha, you Geordie fat prick. He's amazing, you know? And I'll be like, fair play, John Duran. But yeah, moving on, Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney has had talks with TalkSport this morning. And he's told them that he's ready for a big move after the Euros, but he's focused on winning the Euros first. I mean, Ivan Toney, he gets his opinions out there, let's be honest. He said some dodgy things in the past. I think some things have been took massively out of context. And I think sometimes he said them when people are coming over harassing him when he's on holiday, and he said, oh, who do you play for? And he said, oh, no one, you'll know. Like, I think he's just saying that to get the people away from him. I don't really think he's bothered. I think he does love Brentford as a club. I just think, I mean, to be honest, Ivan Toney, he struggled when he's come back from his ban, which is fair enough. It was always going to happen because he had a long time out, which I think it's unfair because I think I've mentioned in a video before, they're so keen to sanction a player straight away and not give them the help. I just think it's crazy banning them from what they love. But it's shit. It's shit bag in my opinion, but I don't set the rules. But yeah, I mean, Brentford fans, how are you feeling about this? How much do you want for Ivan Toney? To be honest with you, I don't think a team should pay more than, if we're going from market value, I don't think he's worth more than 50 million. I think 50 million at the most, but then what will Brentford charge for him and who will pay what for him? I think a great move for him would actually be Tottenham. And I know in the previous, he said he would like to play for like Arsenal. I think Arsenal would be a good move for him, but I think Tottenham are like desperate for a killer striker, and I think Ivan Toney could make that step at Tottenham. But who knows? He's a 28-year-old though, so if he wants a big move, he's going to need a big move now, or he's just going to look like Zaha's career. But yeah, going on to Brighton now. Brighton are on the verge of appointing, and I might get this wrong, Fabian Herzila, a 31-year-old manager, very young in his managerial career. There actually is going to be some players in the Brighton squad that are older than him, which is quite interesting. But Herzila, we'll call him Fabian because I don't want to butcher his last name. I can say Fabian easy. So Fabian/Fabian guided St. Pauli to promotion to the Bundesliga after winning last season's Bundesliga 2 title. He actually cut his playing career short at 23 years old to coach. Who does that? And fair play to him, because if he gets a job at Brighton, he's got a lovely, exciting project right in front of him. And he became the St. Pauli coach in December 2022 at the age of 29, which is incredible if you think about it, really. Brighton fans, if you want to know what to expect from your new manager, this is his stats per game in the Bundesliga 2 last season. So open play pass completion was 87.18%, and they were the first in the league for that. The next was shots per game. They were averaging 15.68 shots per game, first in the league for that. Next, it was distance covered, and it was 122.24 km, which they were first for again. Intensive runs, 746.41, which they were first for. And possession, they were averaging about 56 possession per game. They were second in the league for that. I mean, impressive if you ask me. I mean, I think Brighton have had a long, hard think of who they're going to appoint as manager. And I think they're making the right decision here. I'm actually quite excited to see how this man does. I know he's a young manager, so he's going to have his pros and cons to the game. He's still young, but then again, he's been coaching since he was 23 years old. But I'm interested to see what happens and how this goes. And hopefully it goes well for him, to be honest with you, because I quite respect him. I think he's a commendable guy from what I've seen in translated text. So let's hope he can get that job. And next, which would be an absolute humongous move for Manchester United, they are monitoring a move for De Ligt, who Bayern would ideally like to sell this summer. Oh, what a signing this could be. Eric Ten Hag linking back up with De Ligt. This could be an absolutely incredible signing for Manchester United, who have just lost Varane, of course, on a free agent, and they've struggled with defenders. They need a solid defender, and I think if you have Lisandro Martinez and Matthias De Ligt together, wow, that could be some force. Be excited, Man U fans. And of course, Ten Hag have just been confirmed to stay in. Fair play to him after winning the cup, 2 cups in 2 seasons. Man United fans, are Manchester United on the up? I mean, looking at players like De Ligt, I mean, he's a good player, so you just must be excited. Let's move on back to Germany. So we're flying back to Germany, not for the Euros this time though, just for a bit of information about who RB Leipzig have just signed for 10 million euros. Yes, 10 million euros. I seen Odregro. I love him on FM, that's all I'm going to say. But what a talent he is, and Leipzig have signed him, and Leipzig have been really good at developing top talent, and they've stole Odregro from Schalke. And I think he's an extremely talented midfielder. Got something about him, and an absolute massive move for him, and for Germany as well. I mean, he's got a big future, so let's see how we can do for them. And the next two, one's about a manager joining a club, and one's about a manager departing a club. We'll start with the happy news first. Marseille are in talks to appoint Robert De Zerbi, the ex-Brighton manager, as their new manager. Now, Marseille are a top club when it comes to finances. I think they had a decent year in real life, and they want De Zerbi on a 3-year contract with a lot of promises in there. Will De Zerbi go? I am not sure. I thought De Zerbi would hold out for a bigger job. I know Marseille are a huge club and they've done some really good things, but I just think De Zerbi would have been waiting out for maybe a Bayern Munich job. I know Bayern Munich have just got a new manager in company, but a job sort of on that level or just below. I know that, and then, well, the next job he could have went for. Edin Terzic has left Borussia Dortmund after a wonderful campaign. Now, that could have been a job for De Zerbi. I think he'd do quite well there. But yeah, I mean, go away from De Zerbi. I just want to touch on Edin Terzic now. What a wonderful campaign he's had. And what a wonderful time he's had at Borussia Dortmund, another young manager. I think he's only in his 30s. Led them with the Pokal. Led them to a Champions League final, which was so unfortunate to lose because it could have been 3 or 4-0 up. And developed some great players. Finished runners-up on the last game of the season, and so cruel and unlucky not to win a Bundesliga. A top manager with a top future. And it's such a shame that he's actually left. It looks like it's been mutual. They've come together, both parties, and said, "Look, I think it's time for me to go." And he's went, and it's a shame to see because I rate him highly, but it is what it is. And best of luck to Edin Terzic wherever he goes next. He might take a break, but who knows. And that leads me on, guys, to the end of the transfer show, but Euro 2024. I've got some videos coming on this channel, so stay tuned. As I said, predicting game weeks. Maybe a cheeky watch along through the week. I'm so excited for this. I want England to bring it home. I've just seen the Adidas Hey Jude advert before, and I want England to do this. I think your 4 winners, England, France, Germany, and Portugal. One of them teams are going to do it, but I'm hoping it's England. But who knows. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.